This is section 10.1. We're going to name polygons. Let's review what a polygon is. Recall that a polygon is a closed figure in a plane formed by segments called sides. A polygon is named by the number of its sides or angles. Let's examine a little bit closer. If a figure has to be closed, you can't have a polygon that looks like that. That is not a polygon. Notice how it also says that a polygon lives in a plane. So you can't have a three-dimensional figure and call that a polygon. The sides of the polygon have to be segments. So you can't have a polygon that looks like this. That is not a polygon because that curved side is not a segment. The prefixes for your polygons are going to look like this. We know that triangles have 3 sides. Quadrilaterals have 4 sides. There's a lot of different shapes that quadrilaterals could be. Remember, we learned about parallelograms. We learned about rectangles, rhombuses, squares. Remember trapezoids, kites. All those guys live in your quadrilaterals. 5-sided shapes are called pentagons. 6-sided are hexagons. Heptagons have 7 sides. Octagons have 8 sides. Nonagons have 9 sides. And decagons have 10 sides. 11-sided figures are actually called hen-decagons. But to keep it simple, we're just going to call it an 11gon. A 12-sided shape is called a dodecagon. We're going to call it a 12gon, just to keep things simple. So you really only need to remember or be responsible for these 8 prefixes right here. The rest of them, we'll just use the number. This is also review. This is an example of a hexagon. A hexagon has 6 sides. It has 6 vertices. It has 6 angles. A vertex is just a point of the intersection of 2 sides. So for example, let me find you 2 sides. Segment PQ and segment PU are 2 sides. Point P is where they both meet, so that's a vertex. Now, consecutive vertices would be vertices that share a side. For example, point P and point Q are consecutive vertices because they share segment PQ. It just means they're next to. That's all it means. So maybe we'll write that there just so you remember. Consecutive means next to. So again, if we're talking about consecutive sides, that would be 2 sides that are next to each other. So like segment RS and segment ST. See how they both share that vertex S? That's how you know those sides are consecutive. Okay, the last thing we'll talk about on this video is what a diagonal is. A diagonal is going to be a segment that's going to connect non-consecutive vertices. So here's one diagonal. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw every possible diagonal from each vertex. And if you notice, in this hexagon, there will be 3 diagonals from each vertex. And when you're all done, it'll make a cool picture. Just like that.